Bros. Well, this took exactly 28 seconds to upload here. Why is it like that? Okay. Well, I know you guys can see me. So, what's up, Raider Nation? We're gonna we'll do this real fast. I did not expect to be on here today, cause today's Big 3 Monday, so we were just gonna sit and chill. Oh my god, my iPad scared me. But and I know this happened earlier in the day, but I was at school, and I obviously can't go live at school. So I'm doing this now. But the Raiders have relieved Reggie Mckenize of his duties immediately, effective immediately. And I'll tell you guys what, guys. It was about 9 this morning. I was in class, and it popped up on my iPad, and I was like, "Yes!" I was really loud, and my teacher asked me, "What happened?" I'm like, yikes. But no, we fired Reggie Mckenize. This is 3 years too late, as he's a draft bum. I know that he drafted a lot of bust. Maybe he's the biggest bust. Add him to the list of bust. So I mean, this should come to a surprise of nobody, considering the fact that he was already going to be out of here. Things weren't working well for him, and there was just a lot of hoopla around him. And then with John Gruden coming in, he got 100% control of this organization with his $100 million contract, and I think that's what really set it off. So we're gonna talk about the players that he drafted, what I think of him. Uh, an interesting, an interesting little tidbit to take away. That I found from back in 2014. Uh, Gruden's comments on the firing. And potential replacements. I have two in mind. Maybe three. Yeah, we'll go with three. So okay, let's start. So yes, we fired him as of this morning, and I honestly think I jinxed the poor guy. I really do. Why do I say that? Well, because yesterday I was telling my dad that I had read the article saying he wasn't going to be back next year, and we kind of knew that considering the fact that Gruden and McKenzie didn't agree in terms of who we were going to draft, and the scouting departments were all different, in terms of draft talent wise, really. So we knew that was already a big debacle, and it really was. And we all knew that he was going to be gone at some point. But like I said, I think I jinxed him, and the only reason why I think I jinxed him is because of the timing of it. So yesterday, a little bit before the game, maybe 2 hours before the game, I read an NFL trade rumor that he will not be back next year. And I'm like, okay, we knew that, that's whatever. And I told my dad in advance because, like I said, we knew it was gonna happen. I told him we fired Reggie Mckenize. It didn't happen yet, but we knew it was gonna happen, so I might as well tell him in advance. Little do I know, I'm in class this morning and my iPad goes off saying breaking news: Raiders fired general manager Reggie Mckenize. Now I didn't mean to do it on purpose. I have nothing to do with this. I didn't expect it to happen. Don't hit me. Um, yeah, but I just thought that was so ironic that I just said it and it happened. Um, so I mean it. I mean that was pretty cool. Just how I said it and it happened. Now let's talk about some of the players he picked. Well, picked. I'm gonna go through each and every single pick, and I'm gonna tell you guys which one I think laid the nail in the coffin. But truthfully, you can argue that what really laid the nail in the coffin is Gruden's arrival to the team. But I'm gonna tell you guys in terms of what pick I think might have laid it. uh, related. So first things first, he was a bum. He drafted like 18 or 19 different bums. Okay. And just for this, I'm gonna have to bring up my iPad here. Give me a second, guys. So, okay, so he took over in 2012. So we're gonna go from 2012 and on. Um, I mean, and I didn't really start paying attention to the Raiders until 2014. But I've done my research on these guys, so uh, you know, I know what's good, and I know what I'm talking about. Um, but okay, so yeah, he was a bum. I don't think the Raiders should have picked him. I really don't appreciate that Mark Davis even picked him. He drafted a lot of bad guys. Just half of his guys on this team right now, aside from six, and I'll give you guys the six. No, yeah, Derek Carr, John Feliciano. I can't even remember them all. Uh, Cooper and Mack are gone. Gabe Jackson still there. David Sharp got cut, but he came back. And David Sharp is actually a really solid player. I think he has potential as an NFL tackle. I think he's way better than Brandon Parker. Um, just throwing that out there. And I would like to even argue that Brandon Parker it was a Mckenize pick. As a Mckenize pick is because look at the way he plays. Okay, look at the way he puts his feet down to set himself up to block. By the time he gets his feet down, he's already been pushed this way or pushed that way. That's Mckenize product right there at his finest. Plus, Mckenize took him out of a small school, North Carolina A&T, which I've never even heard of until he got picked. And plus, he was the one giving the draft call, so I doubt Gruden signed off on that pick. So just saying. And then there's my God, I don't remember that. I don't even remember all of them. I really don't. I just know that Carr, Feliciano, Gabe Jackson, and David Sharp. And I know there's a few, and they'll probably come to my mind here. Oh, Gary and Conley and Carl Joseph. Now those two are beast, especially Gary and Conley. And towards the end of the season, I gotta give an apology letter to Gary and Conley, so stay tuned for that. And those are the only 5 players on this team on this team from a Mckenize pick standard. So his first pick, this was after Mr. Davis, the elder Davis died, Al Davis. Um, this is when he died. So this team was a mess. We got rid of everything we had. We were in salary cap hell. So we were like $54 million under the cap at that time. So Mckenize coming in with with all these gangster numbers and whatever. So you really can't blame him for that. But he started off hiring Hugh Jackson. He then traded Carson Palmer, and we spent a first round pick on him for what? Then he got Jason Campbell. Okay, and there was a lot of them. So I mean, I guess the 2012 season, 2012 draft, you got to give him a pass because Mr. traded our first and second round picks to the Bengals for a supposedly washed up Carson Palmer, who actually played pretty decent for us at the time, but it wasn't good enough. So he started off with Tony Bergstrom in the third round. Tony Bergstrom is a backup for the Washington Redskins at the moment. Miles Burris is out of the league. Jack Crawford is out of the league. Jerome Kreiner. I've never even heard of that guy. Who is that guy? Cristiano Bucatiti. Yeah, I don't know who he is either. And then Nathan Stupar. He's a special teamer on the Saints. So yikes, just yikes. Okay, now 2013. Here's where you gotta start giving them the slap. So we drafted DJ Hayden, biggest bust of all time. First of all, coming out of school, kid had lots of issues. Okay, he had a heart defect. We really can't blame him for that. He almost lost his life due to this heart defect. Like I said, we gotta give him a break on that one. We really can't blame him on that one. But we can blame what we can blame him for. He was slow. He didn't have good coverage skills. He came out of Houston, and there was not very many good players coming out of school at that time. He played more like a safety, and he should have been he should have been at least a third round pick. I mean, he was bad, and we held on to him for 4 years. And it's like with the Raiders, it's like this. I know that you guys out there like the chalk. You know what I do with the chalk. But it's like this. This is DJ Hayden. Actually, here. We'll use this frog here as an example. Okay, so this is DJ Hayden, and this is Reggie Mckenize. And for years and years, when our coaches said bench him, they go like, they just put him on ground, benching him. Well, Reggie Mckenize over here, knowing that he's costing us a lot of money, and he's a he's free of a salary cap casualty rather. He's like, no, 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 no. He's just like he doesn't want to let go, stuck like glue. And like I think out of all the picks that he had, this was like the one that he never, for whatever reason at all, I don't know why, just said no, I don't want to get rid of him. When he was clearly a bum. My poor frog fell. So and right now, and then after the Raiders, he went after we released him in 2017. We held on to him for that long, yes. And he was demoted all the way to sixth string quarterback. Sixth string is unheard of, unless you're Christian Hackenberg. But still, I mean, ugh, sixth string? Like, what is that? Kick return specialist? My God. Um. Uh. Uh. Um. Like I said, you had DJ Hayden who. He went to go flame out with the Lions for a year after his release from the Raiders, and then he got cut by the Lions because the Lions know what the heck they're actually doing. And then he's now on the Jaguars as a third corner next to Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye. Okay, our second round pick, Melnick Watson. We can all remember Melnick Watson for his preseason injuries and him going like to the benches. He would knock over the benches, push the benches, be really forceful with the bench. He's going, that'd be him to the bench. Very, very big crybaby in terms of injury. The thing is, though, he would get injured every year, and when he was healthy, he'd get pancaked and get sacked. Now he's a free agent. What a bum. Seal Moore, you can argue that he was a Raiders legend. I mean, he wasn't, to the point where, our other guys were like, Richard Seymour and Howie Long, but I guess you can say he was okay. Tyler Wilson, as our fourth round pick, he was a quarterback. Who? And then we drafted Nick Kaza. Then we drafted Latavius Murray. Do you guys remember him? Latavius Murray. He was our starting running back for a few years, and then he got released. We let him go. And that's another Reggie Mckenize pick that they had so much trouble letting go. He was like that stick gum stuff. It was like, and finally when Jack Del Taco got hired, he said, "No, you're done." I mean, and I had lots of issues with him. You guys that have watched my channel since like the 2016 season, you guys know my issues with him. I would go out there and say he's too tall to run, or that he is not strong enough, or just anything in general. Really, I would say that he wasn't, that he wasn't good enough, and that he wasn't strong enough, and that he's too tall, and that he could never jump in the end zone on those 1 yard, 1 inch line, jumps for the end zone, as most running backs would do. And the truth is, he was really tall. He would always get caught. His feet would always get caught. Uh, his feet would always get caught in between the defender's legs and stuff. Mike Rivera, then we had Stacy McGee, Bryce Butler, and then David Bass. 2014. And here comes my interesting story, by the way. We had Khalil Mack now with the Bears. Then we had DC, Derek Carr. Here's an interesting tidbit I took, okay? And this is just off everything Ian Rappaport said, and But and I remember hearing this somewhere too. I don't know where. I remember NBC Sports though, they did an article, did a piece on how Reggie McKinney didn't want to take Derek Carr. Did he prefer to take some defensive bum? Because that's all he would take, his bums. Guy couldn't draft to save his life. Where's the worst scout evaluator in the whole league, which is why he took Garrett Conley so high. But Garrett Conley, he's a beast. This season he's been lights out. So I mean, yeah. But then his brother, Ralph. Oh, like Sashi Brown of the Cleveland Browns during that era was better than him. The guy didn't know. I mean, Reggie McKinney didn't know talent when he saw it. Oh. So, you know. Okay, but like I said, so with Derek Carr, it gets really interesting because like I said, apparently, with our quarterback woes and all those quarterbacks we went through before we even got Derek Carr, it's understandable for an owner of an organization to be mad about bad quarterback play, as that is the top position in the NFL that every high school kid dreams to play, no matter what they actually do play in the NFL. They always try. The quarter or not, they try to fling the football around once in their lives. We all do it because we all want to be like these quarterbacks some days. You know. Um. So. So. Story goes that Reggie McKinney didn't want to take Derek Carr, and he rather preferred taking some defensive bum, and that probably could have been another one of those. Trying to think, who came out in 2014 that wasn't good at all. It probably could have been one of those 7th round picks for the second round. Probably could have been another one of those Jelahad Wards, Connor Cooks, type of deals. And apparently, Mark Davis told Reggie McKenzie, "You don't get this kid out of Fresno State, you're fired." And so, as a boss man, Reggie McKinney says, "Fine, I'll get him." So apparently, even though Derek Carr was known as the most pure passer in the draft that year, Reggie McKinney didn't want to target a quarterback at all. But since, like Mark Davis said, you don't take this kid out of Fresno, you're fired. He took him. And I wonder now if he regrets taking him, considering what Derek Carr's done for us. And I know he was all on board with Khalil Mack, because Khalil Mack's just a generational talent. You can go skip Amari Cooper out of town all you want, but when it comes to Khalil Mack, no excuse. So yeah, that's another one that he took. And then he took Gabe Jackson, who's still on the team. He took Justin Ellis. And the guys that aren't on the team are Keith McGill, Travis Kelce, Stubby Harris, and some guy named Jonathan Dowling. Big deal, we took Cooper that year. All the rest of the picks weren't good enough. 2016 more the same. 2016 we took Carl Joseph. Jelahad Ward sucked. Silly Calhoun did as well. So did Connor Cook. The other Washington is okay. Then Corey James and Vidal Alexander are no longer on the team. Um, and then 2017 to 2017. So I hope you guys get my point out of this, guys. Reggie McKenzie and his brother don't have talent when they see it, and I'm really glad that Gruden grabbed a hold of his own scout team and said, "Okay, we want these players. Don't listen to these guys in the back." Because truth is, you know, with all the draft capital we have going on here, and even though we all knew Gruden was going to make the picks, McKenzie could have went out there and like wanted. McKenzie could have went out there and wanted to go with somebody like a. And I know he's not going to play football, but I'm just using this as an example. Kyler Murray. You know, you probably could have wrote Kyler Murray on the paper on the draft card instead of somebody like a Cleveland Farrell or a Nick Bosa or an Ed Oliver. You know, so he probably could have screwed John Gruden over instead of taking the guy that John Gruden really wanted. And that could have been with three of them because, you know, we have first, I mean, three first. So, you know, he probably could have, you know, Gruden probably could have wanted Nick Bosa, uh, Kunio Hari out of Arizona, and then, you know, maybe some of um, Damian Harris, running back out of Alabama. And probably, you know, McKenzie could have written Kyler Murray. I don't know, somebody like David Montgomery. And honestly, knowing Reggie McKenzie, he probably would take a fifth round guy in the first. The only exception that he's gotten there is Mo Hurst. So, you know, well, Gruden probably would have been so mad. Third Chuck gets, so it probably wouldn't have been good either. But like I said, I'm glad that Gruden's more of the power structure now because special teams coordinator or something, because they're not good at all. They don't know talent at all. The Browns took better talent than us. Listen to that. Ugh. Deshaun Kaiser, you know. Um, Johnny Manziel was way better than everything we took combined of the 2014 class, except for there are two studs. So yeah. Okay. Now, GM replacements. By the way, I really like this move. Better for our future. And I was kind of surprised that we did it now. I thought we were going to do it at the end of the season. But rip the band-aid off. Rip the band-aid off. Um, so, uh, yeah. Now, potential replacements to replace him, Mackenzie. Now, there's a great chance that we won't even have a general manager because we all know at the back of a single little tic-tac piece about this firing. He knew everything. He was the captain. You know, every time they go into, and I'm gonna be cringe right now, okay? But this is probably what it is. Honestly, you know, when people go into his office, when his assistants, whether it's Greg Olson or Paul Gunther or Rich Bisaccia or um, Dave Razzo, his scouting dude, or Joey Clickasaus, another scouting dude he's got up there, or even Mark Davis, they probably have to go in there and say, "Aye, aye, Captain. What do you want?" You know, because I mean, literally, you're really gonna. I mean, you pay a coach $100 million, he's gonna get 100% of. He's gonna get 100% of the organization through and through. That's just the way it works. Um, and I feel bad for McKenzie because McKenzie was a scapegoat and he dabbed his way out of there. And I'm glad he did because he was a bum and he was a scrub. Didn't know what he was doing. I haven't been this happy about a Raiders move since the release of Bruce Irvin. So, but potential replacements to replace him. First one I look at is Elliot Wolf. Elliot Wolf, he is a assistant general manager for the Browns at the moment. He's from Oakland, so you know that would fit very well. Can come home and you know live up here with us and do whatever he's got to do in terms of family. Um, he got hired by the Green Bay Packers in '08, and Every year since 2000, no, got hired by the Packers in '06, and every year since '08, he kept going up and up and up and up, all the way up to the highest of the ranks, which in his case was assistant GM. And then when they decided to do whatever the heck they did with Ted Thompson, I don't know what the heck they did. I mean, I know what they actually did, but why? Makes no sense. I don't care. He was a finalist for that Brown GM job. Um, for obvious reasons, you know. We don't know what those are, but considering what we've heard, and considering that he went up the ranks every single year from 2008 to when he went on to the Browns, um, you know, that's obviously a positive to look for. And then I also gotta throw a shout at Gruden real quick. He said that we're gonna look for somebody with the same mindset and structure as Mckenize. No, a bum like Mckenize up here. We don't want to. We don't want a Sashi Brown or Doug Whaley up here, especially a Doug Whaley who's running the XFL. So we obviously don't want that. And then there's another one that I thought of. Is George Patton. George Patton. He is also an assistant general manager, but he's for the He works for the Vikings, and same thing for him. He started out as a scout and worked his way up the ranks. Apparently, he's a guy who has a really, real. You know what? We're gonna go read his biography right now. Hold on, guys, because I actually found it. Apparently, he's known as a really loud voice guy, and he also said he also said a few days ago that if the opportunity presents itself, he's ready to leave Minnesota. So obviously, he's ready for what's about to come. But I also do know that when the Giants were looking for their new head man in terms of general manager, he was a finalist there as well. So yeah. Let me see what they say on the Viking website here. I just saw it. I never looked at it. So he's a graduate of UCLA. So he's been there for 12 seasons now. Let's see what it says. Rick Spillman and George Patton have a long professional history together, having worked for personnel staffs from Chicago and Miami before joining forces again with the Vikings. 2012 Vikings were benefited from an influx of young talent, spurred up to the squad 7-1 improvement over the previous season, finishing 10-6 wild card berth. It says the Vikings roster development throughout free agency, trades, and draft built the foundation for back-to-back NFC North championships in 2008, 2009. So the Vikings tied a team record, 12 players on it, earning Pro Bowl berths in 2009. So now, obviously, you hear Pro Bowl, and the only Pro Bowlers, even before, when Reggie Mckenize first came in, was Marcel Reese, who was a fullback, and usually fullbacks don't really should get as much recognition because it's not even a good position to even play. It's not one of the top ones. It's dead. So when you see for a certain amount of years, that's so we obviously like hearing that he's drafting Pro Bowl caliber players. Team record. 5 were acquired by the draft, 4 by free agency, 1 via trade. But I think Gruden's also going to look for a guy that likes to make trades. Because before Gruden came in, the last trade we made was back in 2012 when we got what's his name? Tyron Branch. Yeah. So here's a big one. Okay, listen to this. Patton's primary focus is coordinate scouting and personnel functions within the Vikings pro scouting department, and leaves his expertise in college scouting department as they prepare for the annual NFL draft. So, considering that we just heard that, we know that John Gruden wants to build this team through the draft, And considering that he's known for his draft moves, that's a big one because obviously we ain't gonna build this team through free agency. Although we're gonna have lots and lots of cash. We're not gonna build this team through trades. We're gonna do it through the draft. The draft with young studs and no more duds. So, obviously you like to hear that. Uh, Patton spent 6 seasons from 2001 to 06 with the Miami Dolphins as a director of pro personnel. Patton began his NFL career with the Chicago Bears in the pro scouting department, rising his position as assistant director of pro personnel in 2000. Okay, that's great to know. So what you want? That's obviously what you want to hear. Um, Hold on. Let's see if they have anything on Elliot Wolf. I'm just saying. I think these are the two guys that the Raiders should look at. And for secondary ones, you got John Gruden, who's really probably going to get he's probably actually going to be the general manager. So we don't even know if we're actually going to need one, considering how much power Gruden has. But obviously, he's going to look for his right hand man and ask for input. So I think that's why we're going to bring in the general manager for. So, you know, but if we're looking for secondary, like not so hot but good enough, look at Jimmy Ray the third. He also worked for the Colts for a little bit. Hold on. I know that he worked for the Colts for a little bit. I don't know much about him, so we'll have to go look up some of this. I don't know how you spell his last name, but is this him? Yep, this is him right here. So he works for the Detroit Lions at the moment as a senior personnel executive. And if you're gonna be checking to go like Gruden did, that's exactly what he named this position as. He didn't name it as a general manager because the real general manager will be Gruden. So, yep, yeah. Let me see what they got here. Let me see this research that the Lions did, getting all this off the Lions website, guys. So Jimmy Rain the third, senior personnel executive. Jimmy Rain the third entered his first season with the Lions in 2018. In 24 season after spending 2017 as a per, as the vice president of player personnel and assistant general manager for the Houston Texans, where he handled the day-to-day responsibilities and player pronouncement process. Pronouncement process? You mean like names, like that? Prior to this time, Houston Ray worked for as the vice president of football operations for the Indianapolis Colts. From 2013 to 2016, with the Colts, Ray oversaw a wide range of uh, administrative and operational aspects of the organization. In addition to assisting with personal matters regarding roster, salary cap, we know that if there's nothing that Reggie McKenzie wasn't good at, the one thing he was good at was fixturing contracts. That dude was a god at that. If there's nothing else, he was a god at contract negotiations. He was a god at that. Like he was okay, but considering that Jimmy Ray oversees that, he has overseen that at one point in his NFL career. That's obviously a positive because we got to pay players like um, Jared Cook, and then we got to get all these guys that Gruden wants back off of those 1-year deals to long-term deals. So he's our new general manager, regardless of who it is and regardless of what the background they have, gonna have to throw around some money, whether they like it or not. But knowing that he oversees salary cap mainly, I mean, you got to think that he has numbers on the top of his head, and he oversees money. So that's always a positive. Um, In addition to assisting Southern Cap free agency in the NFL draft. Oh, he's also an undrafted rookie mastermind. The Raiders and undrafted rookies don't match well. But it says here that while shaping the Colts college free agency process, Ray led the acquisition of 14 undrafted free agents, which led on to at least play one regular season game for the rookie season. You know, the players that you try to get that are late round gems, this guy may be the guy for that. Uh, so yeah. And then there's also another one out there that we can think of, and that's ultimately Bruce Allen. Bruce Allen works for the also worked for Gruden, so he's a Gruden disciple, a Gruden fan. And considering that Gruden's trying to bring his band back together, that might work out very well. But they worked together in Tampa, and he took the guys that Gruden wanted, and even though not most of them worked out, you got to think that he's better now. He works for the Redskins, and I think the Redskins are going to go through a lot of turmoil, considering that they also lost Alex Smith. His career is probably over. But at one point, you got to think that Jay Gruden's also going to be given the boot, and his brother, regardless of what that position is. So, you know. So yeah, that's just some of those. That's just my thoughts on this. Us firing Reggie Mckenize. Like I just said, I didn't expect it to happen this early, but it's better to happen now than later. Rip the Band-Aid off. You know. And I wish Reggie McKenzie nothing but the best, but you aren't good enough, dude. You are a bum. You don't know talent. You don't know talent. You're the worst. You are the worst general manager in the league. Thank you for your time. Good night, Raider Nation.